evidence of evolution. Evidence of evolution. Just we will see one by one. There are total how many evidence? Total number of evidence 6. Give the heading for the first one. Give the heading for the first one. Morphological evidence. Morphological evidence. See the figure number 1.4. Figure number 1.4. They gives the different figures about the different animals, and we have to find out now which are the similar characters in this evidence. Which are the similar character in this evidence? Morphological first. Write the heading morphological. Morphological evidence. Morphological evidence. Now, in this figure number 1.4, just take in front of you and trace on visible characters. Traced on visible characters as well as the external one. Now, in this morphological evidence, see what we have to find out. First, note down that one line, give the heading morphological evidence. Right. The similarities in the external and visible characters or features. External and visible features. Visible. VISIBLE. Visible features. Visible features are called morphological evidence. Are called morphological evidence. Which are those now? See one by one. Structure of mouth. Structure of mouth. Second, position of eyes. Position of eyes. Then structure of nostril. Structure of nostril. Then presence of hairs. Presence of hairs. These are some common visible features which we have to observe in these three animals. In these three animals. Shape of the mouth, structure of eyes, structure of nose, nostril, then the hairs on the body. Then the hairs on the body. These are visible features in first three. Then come in plants. See which are those similar features are there. See shape of the leaf, then the lining on the leaf, it called as venation, lining on the leaf. Then petioles, leaf petioles. These are the some characters which have been observed in this last three plants which has been shown. See the color of the fruit, shape of the leaves, color of the leaves, veins on the leaves. What type of the similarities we can find out? These are the some type of the common morphology by which we can understand the one type of some similar features. Now see, in the animals now, in the animals, see, there are the similar structure, because in this all this figure mouth is there, maybe some shape will be different, then nostril, nose, then hairs on the body, now all this they have the mouth, they have the nostril, they have the hairs on the body, this will be the first evidence for the animals. And commonly for the plants, in the plants, see which are those similar structures, similar characters. Leaf, that means leaves, shape of the leaves, veins on the leaves, then the leaf petiole, now these similar features, what they indicates? These similar features indicates the origin of different animals, or maybe group of plants, group of animal, group of plants, maybe what we can say, maybe form, or it maybe have common ancestor, okay. Now write only one line below this, in the front of the morphological evidence, right? By the similar features, in animals and plants, indicates the origin of different animal and plant groups must have a common ancestor. For our point will be common ancestor. Now figure number 1.5, anatomical evidence. Give the number. Second evidence of evolution. Number 2. Number second, anatomical evidence. See here in this anatomical evidence, figure number 1.5, they have shown some different shapes of the bones. Human hand, the bone of the cat, then the bat, and then the whale. Now observe all the shapes. Now. Bone of human hand, then the cat, then the bat, then the whale. Can any similarity you can see in all this figure? Yes.
No, sir.
Can they have any similarity or they can show some different features?
Structure is different.
Structure is different. Any other? The shape is different, structure is different. See the joint of the bones, joint of the bones. Wherever they are present, they have the different shape. Bones of the hand, bones of the fingers, bones of the our arm. Wherever they are present in particular animal, wherever they are present in the particular animal, these organs have the different use. These organs have the different use. Maybe fingers, maybe forearm, maybe your leg, maybe your hand, maybe the shape of the different fingers. Now see, by this what we can say, the structure of bones and joints of the bones in different organs or in different animals, you can say, it shows some type of similarity. If you see the bones of the hand in all these animals, maybe shapes are different, maybe shapes are different, but somewhat the structure is same. Somewhat structure is same. Maybe fingers are long or short, maybe shape of the arm will be long or short. That means total arrangement of the fingers, just like our arm, the structure, maybe of human hand, maybe of the any other animals, it can show some similar. It can show some similar visible features. Similar visible features. Write only one line here for this anatomical. The structure of bones. The structure of bones. The structure of bones and joint of bones. Structure of bones and joint of bones. In organs, of animals shows some similarity. Shows some similarity. Shows some similarity. Change the line. It indicates the animals are originated from. Animals are originated from. Same now. Animals are originated from and common ancestor. And common ancestor. Common ancestor. Read the first question in front of. Can you tell? Question number first in front of. Can you tell? Which are the different organs in the body of organism? Yes. Tell me now. Higher organisms. Higher organisms have different higher organs and the organ systems by which we have to that means specific organs, specific systems for what to carry the different specific function or to complete the different specific function. Let me see, in the human body which are the different systems are there? Are you know? You are learning from the last 2-3 years, maybe from
Digestive.
from 5th standard. Digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, excretory system. These are the, in this each and every systems, whatever the organs are present, these different organs do the different their own function in which system they are present, and common one main function they carry out. Maybe the circulation, maybe the digestion, or maybe the any other system which has been present in the human body. Now by this each system consists of definite or fixed organs wherever they are present, and these organs may be carry out the different functions. Maybe see the common they are given, see the thoracic cavity, the lungs, the heart, then the skull in which brain is present, then the our abdominal cavity, then our stomach, intestine, liver, kidney. These are the different specific organs are present only in the higher order animals. Only in the higher order animals. Now these are some name. In front of that you can remember any common names. You can note down all the cavity of thoracic cavity, then our liver, kidney, heart, brain. These are some our different organs present in the body of organism. Second one, see, is each of organ useful to organism? Yes or no? Is each of the organ is useful to organism or no? Maybe anyhow, wherever they are present, they are carry out the respective organs. They can completing the specific function in our body or in the body of the organism. Whatever the groups of organs are there in particular one system, individually they have some coordination between them. Wherever they are present, they follow the same function to completing the main function of the particular system. Main function of the particular system, and all these organs are useful to us. All the organs are useful to us. Now there are some organs are there. There are some organs are there which are not useful to us. Maybe in this process of the evolution, these organs are totally disappear. That means the organs which are not useful to us, or which are the functionless. Which are the functionless. Those organs we are now giving the name vestigial organ. Give the third point, third evidence, vestigial organ. Vestigial organ. Number third, vestigial organs. Vestigial means, see, first of all, organs which are underdeveloped, organs which are underdeveloped, and organs which are functionless. Organs which are functionless, or organs which are cannot perform any work, or cannot perform any function, or cannot perform any function. Such organs we are calling as vestigial organs. Such organs we are calling as vestigial organ. Note down definition. Right? The degenerated or underdevelopment, degenerated or underdevelopment organs, which cannot perform any function, are known as vestigial organ. Vestigial organ. Now see, in the process of the evolution, each and every organism, wherever they are present in different environment, their somewhat adaptations are going on changing, and they make or they develop such adaptation. They can survive their life in present environmental condition. They can survive their life in the present environmental condition. And step by step, there are some organs which was present in the first time. By the change in the adaptation, these organs after some generations, they remains functionless. They remains functionless. Commonly see tailbone. See now, use of tailbone in human and use of tailbone in monkey. Can you find out some difference? Yes?
Monkeys are for balancing.
You have the tail. They have the tailbone.
No,
Hmm.
we don't have tail,
But monkey has the tailbone.
tailbone have.
Hmm. Now the same organ useful in the monkeys, not useful in the human being if it is present. We have the backbone. See now the figure number 1.6. Figure number 1.6. First see ear muscles of the ear. It had any use, any function?
No.
Second see wisdom teeth. After some months it fall down, then new teeth are growing. Then in the diagram in upward direction, see small intestine and large intestine. One outgrowth is there, see appendix. No any function, but it increase it creates some. If it increase, it creates some problem. Last one, tailbone. Now, yes.
Sir, appendix is used for digesting the raw content of food.
No. Appendix not. Appendix means one type of outgrowth of unwanted cells. There are the increasing the quantity of the unwanted cells, group of unwanted cells, which can disturb that particular organ. We can
Why it is present?
maybe anywhere some of the cells will be grow much more than the requirement. Now see this appendix maybe have some kind of the minor function, maybe at the first time to giving the support or for completing the or some helping the for the any other organ for the carrying the same function. But if it grows in more quantity, more size, it maybe have some effect on that same organ. Maybe have the effect on the same organ. Now there are some organs are there, just like tailbone. Maybe it will be not useful for the human being, but maybe useful for the any other animals. Functionless in human, but carrying function or doing some main function for the monkeys or any other animal. Those have the tails. We are calling as tailbone is functionless, but other animals, the same tailbone is carrying out the main function, but those are here only we can see that such organs are there, maybe doing some function in particular animal, and the same organ may not be doing the any other function in the any other animal. They remain as functionless. Such a organ we are calling as vestigial organ. Even though they are present, they are the functionless. That's why maybe some part of the organ has been slowly and slowly degenerated. Maybe degenerated. And such organs we are giving the name as vestigial organ. Only write only one line under this. One line under this. The existing organs after different changes in the process of evolution, may forms new tissue or organs. Change the line and write. Due to natural selection, the vestigial organs are undergoes degeneration and after long time of span they vanish. After long time of span they vanish. Write example. Appendix. Useful for yes, grazing. But it is vestigial for man. Or you can write any other examples. Ear muscles, wisdom teeth, ear pinna. These are the some common our vestigial organs that we can't say the organs are functionless. Somewhere they can give some support, somewhat they remain functionless. These are the from these vestigial organs also have some type of our common evidence for the evolution. Maybe some of the organs which we are calling as vestigial, now the many animals they don't have. The organs has been vanished because that organ was as per the day by day or year by year within the long time of the span. Maybe that organ becomes functionless and maybe it can be undergo the process of the degeneration and it can be vanish away. But that organ may be present in the previous generation and step by step in the process of there it may be come to an end, it may be vanish. Therefore what we can say, all these organs are the one type of evidence of evolution. Okay. Now the fourth one, planetological evidence. Number 4. it has huge function now. It may not be finished in this remaining time. In first three, tell me any problem if you have. In first three evidence, that means morphological, then the anatomical, as well as in the vestigial organ. See the diagram number 1.4, 1.5 and 1.6. Whatever some figures has been shown, try to understand the evidence shown in the morphology, then by the different structure of the bones, by the different organs, how they are one type of evidence of the evolution. By this, the process of the evolution and the theory of the evolution has been based, and there are some different process or different characters and features of all the animals and plants has been studied by the different scientists, and they collect all this evidence, and from this evidence they do the study which is our main origin, Now ask me your doubts. Yes.
Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory.
It is there now. It will come in front. About the earth. Now